Well, I knew about Ben Brereton when he was about 16 years old. And I'd followed Ben, via the England under 17s and England, the young England sides, under 19s. Start of his career, he played against Arsenal on a few occasions, scored against Arsenal. So I knew Ben Brereton well as a player, funnily enough. Yes, there had been, there had been some noise in Chile about him, and Chile were aware of Ben Brereton. There'd even been a phone call in the past before I got here asking about his situation, but nothing had been done. So when I got to Chile, there was nothing testimonial. There was no reports on Ben Brereton. There was no analysis on Ben Brereton. So one of the first things I did was to begin that analysis and that process. Then we started to talk to him. We actually used Ben Corbyn's son, Jeremy Corbyn's son, Ben Corbyn to introduce us, seeing as Jeremy Corbyn's wife is Chilean, so they knew the Brereton Diaz family. So it was we used that to get into his inner sanctum, so to say. I began talking to his agent as well, and began talking to Ben about the possibility. And then it was just a question of me convincing our head coach that we had to bring him in, because he gave us something we didn't have, a completely different type of option up front to what Chile had in those moments. Of course, we got Alexis Sanchez, who you could probably call a second striker, come winger. Eduardo Vargas, and younger players like Morales, but we didn't have a player of Ben's style. And I knew that he was a player with a lot more potential to come. So it was just a question of let's bring him in. Let's look after him, because I'm sure that this player will do well for us. And luckily for us, and for him, I would say, things have turned out very well. And to tell you the truth, it's the credit has to go to Ben, because he came here, he didn't speak Spanish. So obviously for him, I imagine it was a very big help to have this, Cockney director of football here who he could speak to. And he was a little bit timid at first, and it wasn't easy for him initially. We brought him in prior to the Copa America, then we took him to the Copa America. And to tell you the truth, from there, he scored against Bolivia, played very well when he came on against Argentina, and it all took off from there. There was always a good feeling with him and the rest of the squad. And to tell you the truth, now it's very evident that Ben is a very, very important player for Chile. And I think he's a player still with so much more to come. I'll be very, very, very surprised if he's not playing in the Premiership next season, be it at Blackburn, and that would be great for Blackburn, because it's a club that I'm fond of. We've got a very good relationship with them. But as I say, he's a player who I think at this stage now in his career, he should be playing at top level.
So I'm just curious, like when you took the role as, the national director of football, did you, when you took that, know that like, oh wait, we might be able to bring him into the fold, or like we can try to recruit him into the fold?
Yeah.
Oh wow, so it was kind of pre-known to you.
I did my homework.
Yeah.
I did my homework, obviously, before. I already knew that Brereton was Brereton Diaz. I'd seen that in the past. It very much surprised me that he hadn't been called up already. That for me was a big surprise, because when I looked at the squad, I thought, here's a player who can make a difference. Did I think he would make so much of a difference? No, because I didn't think he would adapt so quickly. And as I say, that's why the credit is his. It's down to Ben, because I think he's a top level professional and a really top level, humble, down to earth guy, and that's why he's having the success he's having.